What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of B is for Build. In the last episode, we got the car running, and we got it loaded up on the trailer. Today, we're gonna go take it down for the first shakedown test. We're going to Guadalajara, Mexico. We're going to Cuba Libre, Mexico. We're going to Oaxaca, Mexico. We're gonna be doing some very, very safe, professional closed course driving. And then if everything goes well on the shakedown, we're gonna proceed to do the body chop. We're gonna get rid of all this stuff that we don't need and start working on the 67 body as well. Stay tuned. Before I get down to work, I want to take a second to thank our sponsor. Today's episode is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Now, a lot of you guys already know what a VPN is, but for those of you that don't, let me give you a very simplified version of what it is. On day-to-day, when you send information from your phone to somewhere or your computer to somewhere, it goes straight from your device, straight from your router, off through the internet and to the server that you want to talk to. A VPN is a middleman that is there to add protection and security to your data transfer. So it's going to go from your computer now to the VPN server, then to the server, and then back. Now, here's a couple of reasons why you might want to do this. I like to use it because I don't like that my ISP can see every single website that I go to. And in the US, they're legally allowed to sell that information to other companies and advertisers. But with ExpressVPN, your internet traffic is actively routed through a different server, so your ISP can't see anything you're doing. When I was recently in Japan, I couldn't watch any of my favorite streaming services because they're all blocked by countries and stuff like that. So if you're in another country or you're here in the US and you want to watch other people's stuff, you just turn on ExpressVPN, you tell it, oh, I want it to look like I'm in America when I was in Japan, and boom, they think you're in America and you can watch all your favorite shows. That's pretty awesome. And ExpressVPN is just the best for a lot of reasons, but a few of them that stick out to me are that the applications that they use so you can launch this thing and turn it on are very, very simple, whether it's on my phone or on my computer. It's like super dead easy to use, and also their speeds are very fast, and they're always upgrading their servers to keep them consistently faster than other VPN providers. So find out how you guys can get 3 months free by clicking the link in the description box below, or go to expressvpn.com/build. Huge thanks to them for sponsoring this episode. Guys, remember, expressvpn.com/build. Go there now. Thank you very much. Now let's get down to work. All right, we are out here. It's time to get the Mustang unloaded. This is gonna be more of a realistic shakedown than just like a burnout fest, but you know, we'll have some fun at the end. But we really want to make sure that this thing's actually functioning properly as a car, more importantly than anything else. So let's get her down and get on the road. This is a familiar sight. All right, you about ready to give it a shakedown?
Yep, just a quick drive.
All right. Great. It sounds terrible. I'm guessing anytime he moves too fast, the air going past the air intake MAF screws it up.
Passes out.
What?
The airflow meter just loses its mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was just telling Kyle, I was guessing as soon as you go too fast and the air goes past the airflow sensor
Cuts out, yeah.
the wrong way. How's everything else seeming?
Seems good.
Like suspension, the handle's all right.
Yeah, the steering wheel's a little kicked, but
obviously, yeah, the alignment's not going to be right. Yeah, but how fast do you think you can get it going before it wants to die?
5-6 miles an hour.
Really, not that fast, huh?
Not that fast. If we were doing burnouts, this would be ideal because you're sitting in the same spot.
That's true. We could test the burnout factor. Maybe we should just go straight to the burnout. Just go down there, turn around, and come back over here.
Right. Oh no!
Make sure that traction control is off.
That's what I'm doing.
Some water on the tires to help you get started.
It's not working.
Traction control off?
Yeah.
It won't go off?
No.
Maybe give it a try and see what happens. So loud.
Something came flying off of it.
Uh-oh. What'd we lose?
it was. Hidden in the engine bay somewhere.
Driving around with the screwdriver.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful build thing to do. So yeah, traction control won't go off, huh?
Nope.
Wow. Mustangs, they done a 180 on us, man. Before they were just eating it all up, and now they don't even want to play ball.
I did bring the code scanner so we can try to delete some codes. Oh.
So much quieter. I don't think it's codes that's going to be holding back the traction
No.
control. No, I think it's something else.
All right, well, with the air intake and the traction control not working, I think we're just gonna take the L on this one, get back to the shop. We know it drives around and it handles okay. We know we're gonna fix that air intake by buying the right air intake, so that's not gonna be a problem. Engine runs strong, we don't have any oil leaks. You know, the trans is working, it's going through the gears. So although it was a quick shakedown and somewhat weak, at least we did it, and then we did it in a good, safe way.
Yep.
So the next time we bring this thing back out here, it'll have a different body on it. Exciting stuff. All right, let's get back on the trailer and get back to the shop. It's so hot. All the other guys like planned ahead and they brought water and sunscreen and stuff. I was just thinking, well, to be honest, I was thinking about beer, but since we're driving, that's not really applicable. But I didn't bring anything. I know we joke around about being in Mexico, but it's 18 degrees hotter here than it is in Mexico. End of rant. I'm gonna go get a cheeseburger and a beer. You guys are doing a great job. All right, we got the car back to the shop. On the way here, I ordered a new cold air intake kit for Oscar to have here, and we had a little leak in this thing, so I ordered a new one of those as well. They are on their way. Now, it's time to start tearing this bad boy down. If you guys remember from the last build, pretty much all these exterior parts got to come off. So side skirts got to come off, doors got to come off, quarter panels, trunk lid, bumper, all that stuff working all the way through there, and then we got to get a lot of stuff out of the interior as well. Kyle and I are going to go ahead and get started on the doors and the side skirts, get those things pulled off and put somewhere safe. The goal is by the end of this episode to have the roof cut off, just like we did the last one. So Kyle and I are going to start working on that. Oscar's going to start working on this guy. So we got to very carefully cut the body off of the rest of the chassis in a way that we can utilize the body and bring it over. It's going to be a lot harder than what me and Kyle are doing, and this thing smells terrible. Any ideas of where you're going to cut first?
On all the edges.
Oh, all the edges. Yeah, good idea. All right, Kyle and I got the doors and side skirts off. That's what's left of one of the side skirts. So the doors have these little clips right here that unplug from the rest of the whole door wiring harness. And that was one thing that I kind of didn't figure out how to do at first the last go around, but now that we've learned a few things, unplug those right there. Keep them around if you're doing a body swap like this. Wow, that truck couldn't be louder. Anyways, keep them around because they have a lot of good wires for a lot of good sensors, like the door open close sensor, door auto unlock, stuff like that. So we did the other side as well, and now on this car we're going to move over here to the back end, get things like the trunk, the tail lights, this tail panel, and the rear bumper off of the car. I gotta say, after seeing this car like this, and then also seeing Von Gitten's cars over at the Freedom Factory, like, it makes me really want to build a Mustang for drifting. It'd be so much fun, but I don't have any time to go drifting. So anyways, trunk lid off, rear bumper off. I feel like there was something else, but the biggest thing is just labeling the wiring harness for the things like the trunk latch sensor and the rear reverse camera and stuff like that, so we can find them. And then this is the bundle for everything that went to the back bumper. That way we can use those wires in the future to wire up to important things. So the next step is not going to be a lot of fun. On the last time we took a roof off, we broke this piece pretty quickly. Well, no wait. We never broke this piece, but it looks like it would easily get broken, and I want to save this piece because I might try and use it on my Apocalypse car. I might try and actually use this as part of a rear hatch and just integrate it into the design because I think it'd be really cool. It is very tinted, so you wouldn't really be able to see the engine, so maybe it wouldn't be very cool. For some reason, my brain says we should save this glass. So we're just gonna go ahead and cut around. So we're gonna use the glass cutting tool. We'll cut kind of like up to here, down, across, and back. That way when we make our cut through here, the window will come with the roof, stay with the roof. Kyle and I finally got this back window glass cut out. It's not all the way out. We're leaving the top just like we did the last time. It's cut from about here all the way down and around. We got stuck on a seam over there that I'll show you later before we cut it off the car. Sometimes your cutting tools get under a piece of metal, and my only advice is to try and come up then from higher and work your way back down because it's such a pain. So we got that cut off now. Now I wish we could cut these pieces off, but they're just so hard to remove without breaking. So I think once again we have to break them. Once we do that, then we can, that was my phone if you guys are watching, it's not your phone at home. Anyways, once we do that, we can cut the roof off of this thing. And if you're wondering why do we support the old car in its shape and we don't support this car, it's because this car's shape is so much more rigid with the way that it's built. It doesn't flex really, but also doesn't really matter. The interior is all taken out and the parts that we don't want it there anymore, where we need to cut through. This glass is still here. Well, you already have safety glasses on, but wear two sets. I'll do the filming, you do the smashing, or do you want me to do the smashing, you do the filming?
I'll do the smashing.
All right. Now, since we're outside this time, I think the strategy is to smash inward.
Smash inward.
Yeah.
I like that better. Get a little bit more leverage. So left-handed. Ready?
Yeah, fire away. Jesus. All right, next.
Maybe.
Oh, Oscar. Oscar's calling him out.
I gave it a little bit, so I think I'm going for more of a pick action.
Okay, hang on. Okay, all right, let's see. Walking Dead style. Oh my God. Dude, how strong are those windows?
Windows.
There you go.
All right.
All right.
Well.
Don't break my good window. It's like a terrible sight for somebody when they do. Like one time I just walked out of a bar and I saw like this, and then I started thinking about all the valuables that were in my car, and they were all gone.
Oh no.
The thief left my skateboard. All right, now that that's done, it's cutting time. We cut through here, we cut through here, we cut through here on all sides, and then we take the car roof off. Convertible. Convertistang. Why don't we just buy convertibles next time we do this, huh? All right, the sun has set. That took way longer than you would think it would, but this metal is super hardcore and saw blades don't like it. But this roof is now free. Let's go ahead and pull it off the car for absolutely no reason, because we're not going to work on it anymore tonight. Just should we wait till tomorrow?
We should.
Well, we're putting a tarp over it anyways. Think about it this way, without a roof on there, the tarp will cover more.
Okay, yeah, let's take it off.
Let's take it off. All right, we're going to take the roof off, flip it upside down, put it over in the apocalypse junk pile. This car is officially a convertible until it gets its new body. All right, guys, it's a new day. The roof is off the Mustang. This is starting to look familiar, right? Now, I do realize that a lot of you guys are like, hey, we've already seen this before, but all those videos, they're gone. And we gotta document this for people back home, because we can't be the only ones that want a classic brand new Mustang, right? Right. Okay, so Kyle has also jumped in this morning and took out some of the interior stuff. We got it trimmed back down. The game plan always with this is, do you do flat here, amount of nitrous bottle right there, have a fun time. But anyways, there's a pile of interior for you guys. And this is our roof right here. And we kept the back glass safe, although it is just, you can see how tinted it is. I don't think I'm gonna use it on my build, but we'll keep it. We have two of these now, just in case if I wanna use it on my build. Next up, it's time to start making some of these serious cuts. So we know that we need to cut way into here, cutting this whole thing off, coming right down through here, down here, and removing this whole side panel as well, and then we'll start working our way back to remove this quarter panel. All this doesn't need to stay, but this part is a good support piece that we keyed into last time, so we want to definitely keep that. Helps keep the rigidity in the vehicle, so we're going to kind of keep that there. And a lot of cut off wheel work. It's nice that this quarter panel is already toast, so we can just cut it off without trying to salvage it like we did last time. That's going to be a lot of work. Alright, I got the annoying part off of here. This thing's like, there's so many layers underneath layers of stuff, it's so hard to cut through, but you want to keep that bottom shelf right there because that's where we're going to be putting our new body on top of that. So this part with that's painted can go, but the part underneath it we want to keep. Also helps keep some structure. We got to come up through here, cut back in to line up flush with this wall right here, and then cut this whole area off next. Well, that's honestly the hard part of the body removal done. Just getting this section all trimmed out is really hard. Later on, it comes back and goes a little bit lower over here, but that's like more fine-tuning stuff that you want the rest of the body to show you where things go. So now I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. You can get a fresh blade and just cut the whole rest of this quarter panel off, which goes pretty quick because it's really thin. All right, this is starting to look pretty familiar. So got all that cut out and then got this over through here, and then we got the quarter panel off kind of coming into the back. So you can see this piece is pretty flimsy. That's got to go. A lot of this back's got to get trimmed out and that's got to go. And then we're starting to draw our lines to make this thing similar to the last time we did this. So that's just this side. Other side's still got to get done. Quite a bit of work has to happen on cutting this thing, but for just about a day and a half or so of working on it, no, 1 day of working on this thing, it's coming fast. It's the second side is always so much faster too, so I'm happy about this. It's coming along. Now let's switch gears over to the old Mustang and see what Oscar's been working on. Oscar got the cowl out. The cowl is a really hard piece because it seals up to like a bunch of different stuff, like the inside of the car, the outside, around the windshield, under here where it's hard to cut. So that's a really tough one. Cut the cowl out, which kind of took our window thing out. So the next step is he's got to reinforce this window gap right here. The car's got a little case of the wobblies, but he's going to go ahead and reinforce that so we don't lose the size of the window opening on the bottom. And then he's made these cuts right here too, so it's not long before he can kind of just like cut a few more things and we could at least get rid of the front of the car. This is such a monumental project. So yeah, next up he's going to reinforce the front of the windshield so we don't lose the shape. Oscar's got the windshield all braced up. You can see he welded in this support beam right here. Now, we were talking, and I've done this actually twice. We did this once on a 240Z body, and then some tow truck driver murdered that body, and then got another one, and I did it again. And I've always found that it's easiest to chop the whole front end off and then scoot that away, and then do a bottom support, and then start cutting the floor pan off. That way you can kind of start chunking things out of the inside and bringing them out the front. It's just a lot easier. Because imagine if you cut the whole floor pan out, I guess you could drop it down. Anyways, I think it's a lot easier. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and do next. Oscar's gonna make the cut kind of across here, across the trans tunnel, cut this whole front end off, and then we'll push it out of our way. Oscar cut the car in half. Now I think I got somebody that wants this engine, so that'd be cool. If anybody wants the front of a Mustang, that's free. And Oscar's got the car cut in half and the floor pan cut out. You're right, Oscar, it does smell terrible.
Yeah, it smells worse when you're cutting.
This is gonna be the great thing about this car. It won't smell as bad anymore. It'll smell like the black ice air fresheners of the 2015-16 Mustang. So wonderful. So what's next for your cutting spree? You gonna go like cut those corners out, or are you just gonna keep working back that way?
Right here you can see where I have already started. Yeah. So I'll cut along here and try to cut around the wheel well as far as I can.
Yep. And then take that support out. That back support's got to go out too.
It's going to be kind of tricky. I got to leave some of it in there.
Yeah.
But I'm going to remove most of it because the other Mustang has that same support.
Yeah.
So I'll try to use some of the new old Mustang and some of this one.
I really think we should try and buy you some fastback glass. We'll see. I know we're short on time, but it would be really cool to put the fastback glass in there and then see you like apocalypsify some way to like house it in nicely. I think it'd be really cool. But yeah, so then also this part has to get all cut out. The kind of inside of the frame rail has to get cut out because this actually wraps around the Mustang rail as well. This will sit on top of it, and then this on the bottom will butt up into it. So, all right, good stuff. Also got the back wheel well section cut out, the trunk bed cut out. So that's the axle right there. And we're gonna go ahead now, and you can see he's got it all jacked up and starting to lift it up. And we're gonna go ahead and just kind of manual labor it the rest of the way and get these two things separated. It's kind of nice having the body all in one piece. Think about all the time that saves us. We'll get it to fit between the first and the fifth try. Somewhere in there, that would be my guess.
So 5 tries?
Carl! All right, we got one Mustang body completely free of all the 1960s crap, along with the engine. If anybody wants an old 60s differential and suspension, you know, totally free. Come get it. So we got to get these things out of the way, get the body back in here, so Oscar can keep on trimming. It's close though. It's very close. So the classic body is almost just a body left over. So a lot of the cutting has been done on the inside of here to start harvesting just what we need. So this rear support is new. It's different than what we used before. There's a lot more there, and we'll see if we can make that work. If not, like if we can't, we'll trim it out because the new Mustang already has one in there. But if not, we'll tie it into the new Mustang, and it'll be great because we double support, which would be awesome. These are a little bit thicker, so we're gonna have to see how that goes. We might have to kind of gut that whole situation out. We're not sure sure quite yet. And then you can see that we actually have a bit of a wheel arch here, which is a lot different than we had before. So a little bit of different stuff given the different year range. And then the big thing is right here, these railings that sit down, most of these railings are gonna go on this one. They've been gutted out here, but we've actually made the decision this time that we're gonna cut here and we're gonna rebuild this on our own. But this is really, really cool looking. Just a classic 67 body just waiting to be placed on the new Mustang and then have all the panels and everything bolted up to it. It's gonna be really cool. All right guys, well that's a wrap on this episode. This is one of the first ones where we're all kind of getting back on this thing, working together as a team. As you saw in the previous episodes, Oscar's really, really killing it, but now we're all three on this. But also I have seen your guys' comments and you want to see more progress on the single-seater supercar, and I'm happy to do that. I'm really excited to be working on it. I actually tried to go buy some steel for it today, but they didn't have it. So I placed an order and look for next week. We will have an episode on the single seater. But before we get there, I want to get that body on the new Mustang. And that's what you guys are going to see in the new episode. The next episode after this, that classic body is going to land itself on that 2016 Mustang GT. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thanks for supporting. BSforBuild.com if you want to pick up any merch. We got a lot of great stuff out there. And we will see you soon. Peace!